In this video lecture, we shall discuss various constructs available in C programming language for decision making. In a C program, all the statements are executed sequentially, one after another. In certain situations, a programmer wants to skip some statements or to want to execute some statement on the basis of some condition. If that condition is true, then he wants to execute those statements. Otherwise, he wants to skip those statements. Okay, so this is called decision making. That of on the basis of the decision of some condition, that if that condition is true or false, some set of statements will be executed. Okay, so this decision making is necessary to determine the order of execution of statements based on certain condition. So a programmer specifies certain conditions to be tested by the program along with the corresponding statement to be executed. These statements will be executed based on whether the condition is evaluated to be true or false. Okay, that is, if the condition is evaluated true, then those statements will be executed. Otherwise, those statements will not be executed. So there are several constructs available for this kind of decision making in C programming language. We will discuss them one by one. First, if-else statement. So if statement is the most simple kind of branching statement. Okay, branching statement is used for the decision making. So it checks for a condition. Condition is a Boolean condition. Okay, it may evaluate to either true or false. So it checks for a condition and evaluates certain statements if true. Executes certain statements if the condition is found to be true. Otherwise, those statements will not be executed. The if statement can be combined with an optional else statement. Okay, remember, else is optional. The set of statements under the else blocks are executed when the condition specified in the preceding if statement is evaluated to be false. Okay, so if only the if statement is used, the associated statement will be executed if the condition is found to be true. If the condition is false, then nothing will happen. And if else block is also used with the else statement, in that case, if the condition is is evaluated to be true, then the statement in the if block will be executed. And if the condition is found to be false, then the statement in the else block will be executed. Okay, so here using this figure, it will be more clear. So this is how an if and else statements are used. Okay, else block is optional. Okay, so this is the syntax of using the if else statement. If, then within small bracket you write the Boolean condition expression, and within the curly brackets you write the statements of the if block. If there is an else block, you write the keyword else, then within the curly braces you write the statements of the else block, right? So if this expression, which is a Boolean expression, is found to be true, then these statements in the F block will be executed. If this expression is evaluated to be false, then the statements in the else block will be executed. Okay, so you can see this flow diagram. Okay, that is this condition. Okay, condition associated with this Boolean expression is evaluated. If it is true, then the if block code is executed, and if it is found to be false, then the code in the else block is executed, right? So this is the syntax of the if else statement, and the multiple if else statements can be nested within another if else statement. Okay, so for example, you can write if statement, then a Boolean condition. Okay, then within curly bracket you can write another Boolean condition. Okay, so you can have any number of nested if statement. Likewise, you can have any number of nested if else statement. Okay, for example, if a boolean condition, the if block, okay, then in the else block you can again test another condition, another boolean condition. So syntax will be else if boolean condition 2. Okay, again this syntax can be repeated, that is if block code, then again you can have an else block, right? So here you can see that one if else block is nested within another if else block. Okay, and this can be done up to any number of levels. So this is an example of if else statement. Okay, so here we have two integer variables x and y. X is initialized to 15, y is initialized to 13. Okay, then in the if statement, this boolean condition is evaluated. If x greater than y, yes, y is 13, so it is less than the value of x, 15. So this statement contained in the if block, printf x is greater than y, will be printed. Another example, here x and y are same. If x is less than y, then this value will be printed. Else if, okay, this is the nesting of an if else block within another if else block. Okay, so this is the inner if else block. So if x is equal to y, print x is equal to y, else print x is lesser than y. Okay, now second statement for decision making, switch case statement. Okay, so if you are to test several conditions, sorry, if you are to test one condition and the output of that condition can be multiple values, so one way of using that type of decision making is that you use multiple if else statement. Okay, that is, first you check one condition, that is the expression is equal to the first value. Okay, and then within that if statement you use another if else statement by checking another condition, that if condition is equal to the second value, and so on. Okay, so in this way you will have several levels of nested if else statements. Okay, in this scenario the simpler method is to use switch case statement. Switch statement allows a variable to be tested for a variable or an expression to be tested for equality against a list of values. Each value is called a case, and the variable or expression being switched on is checked for each switch case. The general format of the switch statement is like this. Keyword switch, within small bracket we write the expression, which is obviously a boolean expression. In fact it can be any expression, not necessarily a boolean expression. And then we have a list of, within the curly braces we have a list of cases. Okay, and each case syntax is, we write the case keyword and then we write the constant expression. Okay, so this constant expression is the basically one of the possible value of this expression is specified in the switch statement. Okay, and then we put a colon and then we write the set of statements which are to be executed if that the case is true. Okay, and then we put the keyword break, right, and then we write the second case in the same manner. Okay, that is, we use the keyword case, then the value of the expression, okay, the second value of the expression, and then we write the statements which are to be executed if the value of the expression is equal to this constant expression 2. Okay, and then we put the break statement. Okay, and the last you can see that there is a default statement. Okay, default colon statements, right? So this default is basically when the value of this switch expression is not equal to any of these specified cases, right? So if the expression value is not equal to any of the specified cases, then the default case will be executed. That is, the statement written in the default case will be executed. Okay, so example. So here we have an integer variable day. We scan its value, okay, and then we check the value of the day. Okay, the day value can be from 1 to 7. Okay, we are considering weekdays. Okay, so one method is to have several if statements or several if and else statement. Okay, the simplest method is to use switch statements. Okay, because we have a single expression, but we have multiple values of that expression which are to be checked. Okay, so we are to check if the value of the day variable is either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7, right? So we have these 7 cases. So case 1 is case 1. This is the first value of the day, first possible value of the day. Okay, 1. So if 1 is entered for the day variable, we will print Monday. Okay, and then break statement. Then the second case, in the second case, the value is 2. Okay, and the corresponding day is Tuesday, right? And you can see here in the last that there is also a default case, that is if some other value other than from 1 to 7 is entered, then the statement associated with this default case will be executed. Okay, that is the invalid weekday will be printed. Okay, so this is how the switch case statement is used. Okay, there are some things which are to be noted while using the switch case statement. While writing case statement, it is necessary to write a break statement. If you don't write break statement, then all the cases will be executed. Okay, and if 2 or more cases are found to be true, then all those statements associated with those cases will be executed. Okay, so we must use the break statement after each case. And there is a default statement. That default statement is executed if none of the case condition is true. Okay, now third type of decision making is construct is conditional operator. Okay, conditional operator is basically a ternary operator. It requires 3 operands. Okay, and the structure, the syntax of this conditional operator is like this. Okay, that is, within the small braces we write a condition, which is a Boolean condition, may value to either true or false. Then we put a question mark, okay, and then some expression which can be a constant, a value, or some expression involving some other operators and operands. Okay, we call it true value. Then we put a colon and then a false value, which may be a single constant variable or an expression involving several variables. Okay, so the semantic is, the meaning is, this Boolean condition is evaluated. If the value of this condition is found to be true, then this true value is utilized. Okay, otherwise the false value is utilized, right? So see an example to understand how this condition operator is used. So we have integer variable x which is initialized to 1. Then we have another integer variable y which is not initialized. So we have this statement, y is equal to, now this is a conditional operator. Okay, within a small bracket we have written x equal to 1 question mark 2 colon 0. Okay, so this is the condition, Boolean condition. Okay, this is a true value and this is the false value. Okay, so how this is executed? First, the condition is evaluated. If x is equal to 1, in this particular case the value of x is 1, so this condition is evaluated to be true. Okay, so if this condition is evaluated to be true, then the true value, that is the value written just after the question mark, will be used. Okay, so that is 2. So 2 will be assigned to variable y. Okay, and suppose that this condition were x is equal to 2. In that case, this condition would evaluate to false, and the false value, that is 0, would be assigned to the variable y. Okay, so this conditional operator is a ternary operator. We specify a Boolean condition, true value, and a false value. Three operands are specified. Okay, condition is evaluated. If it is evaluated true, then true value is assigned, otherwise false value is assigned. Okay, fourth statement for decision making is go to statement. Go to statement is an unconditional decision making statement. That is, no conditions are checked. Okay, it simply the use of go to statement simply cause the program to jump to the specified address, which is specified by using a label. Okay, so general syntax is this: go to label, where label is basically a label. Okay, label or address of a statement. Okay, here you can see how the label are used. You write the name of the label, then you put a colon, and after that the statements are written. Okay, so go to label means go to that label directly without evaluating any Boolean condition. Okay, and all the statements between the go to label statement and that label statement will be skipped. Okay, so these statement will be skipped, will not be evaluated. Okay, and this will be done unconditionally without evaluating any condition. Okay, so example, so in the main function, the first function here is go to next. Next is a label. Okay, and at this label we have this statement, printf statement. Okay, between the go to next and the next label statement we have this statement return 0. Okay, so this statement will never be executed. Okay, because the control will directly go from this go to next statement to this statement, right? So but the usage of go to statement should be avoided as much as possible, because using go to statement is like using unstructured programming, and unstructured programming is not a good choice of programming.